Chosen one. You did not stumble into this moment. Heaven aligned your steps, your timing, and even your breath to bring you here right now. Something in the spirit has shifted around you, and you can feel it. You are standing at the threshold of a supernatural release, a divine wealth transfer prepared long before you were aware of it. Anointed one. This is not just a video. This is a summons. For the God who speaks through dreams, visions, and night encounters is speaking to you now. As Scripture says, the Lord reveals mysteries in the night. Open your spirit. Heaven is ready to impart. Chosen one, before we go any further, quiet your spirit for a moment. Something holy is unfolding around you right now. You didn't press play by curiosity. You were drawn here by alignment, by a stirring that would not let you ignore the pull. Heaven has been speaking to you in the night, because God knows that when your mind finally stops running, your spirit becomes available. Every dream you've been having, the ones that shook you, the ones that confused you, even the ones you dismissed, have been divine whispers trying to get your attention. And chosen one, I need you to hear me with your spirit, not just your ears. These dreams are not random. They are indicators that heaven is preparing you for a shift so significant that your natural life cannot stay the same. You are being positioned for a supernatural transfer, a divine unveiling, and yes, for some of you, even a financial breakthrough that will realign the entire landscape of your life. What God is depositing in your dreams is connected to what He's about to release in your waking world. Let's begin with the first sign: water. Not just water as you've known it, but water as heaven speaks it. Anointed one, when water shows up in your dreams, it is a mirror of your inner landscape. I remember seasons in my own life where I would dream of being swept away by waves, pulled under by currents I couldn't control. At the time, I didn't understand it. I thought it was fear or stress. But later, God revealed that the water was showing me where I was drowning emotionally, where I was carrying burdens I refused to name, wounds I tried to bury under busyness. So when you dream of water, chosen one, heaven is revealing the state of your soul. If you're drowning, it's not punishment, it's exposure. God is saying you've been fighting alone for too long. Come back to shore, let me restore what you buried. And sometimes the water is calm, peaceful, still like glass. In those seasons, God is showing you that even while life looks chaotic around you, your spirit is aligned with His flow. This is often right before a major elevation. I didn't know it then, but the season where I dreamt of peaceful water was the exact season where God positioned me for opportunities that changed the trajectory of my life. But when the water is wild, chosen one, don't misinterpret it. You're not in danger, you're in transition. God is shaking loose what cannot go with you into your next level. Those waves are not meant to drown you, they are meant to cleanse you. And I know the cleansing feels like loss sometimes. It feels like people drifting away, like doors closing, like plans falling apart. But the truth, God is stripping away everything that was too small for the destiny you're about to inherit. Here is the part most people never realize. The way you respond to water in your dream is a revelation of how you respond to God in real life. Do you resist His movement? Do you fight the current? Do you try to control the flow? Or do you surrender? I had to learn this the hard way. For years, I fought the very shifts God was sending to elevate me. I mistook His shaking for instability, His redirection for rejection. But when I finally let the current carry me, everything changed. And the same is happening for you, chosen one. Heaven is asking you a question through these dreams. Will you let me take you where your fear refuses to go? Now watch this, because when water dreams unveil your inner landscape, the next dream exposes what's hiding around you. the serpent. This one is uncomfortable, but necessary. When snakes appear in your dreams, it is not random. It is not superstition. It is divine intelligence. The serpent comes to signal a hidden attack. Anointed one. There were seasons where I dreamt of snakes hiding in corners, under beds, near people I thought I could trust. At the time, I wanted to ignore it. I told myself it was just imagination. But every time, without exception, those dreams warned me of someone whose intentions were not pure. If you are seeing snakes in your dreams, you are being alerted to deceit, jealousy, or betrayal operating quietly in your environment. And if you've been bitten in the dream, pay close attention. It means the attack has already reached you emotionally through gossip, through manipulation, through energy that is draining you. But if you kill the snake chosen one, that victory is prophetic. It means God is delivering you from a hidden threat before it harms your destiny. And I want you to hear this deeply. Your dreams reveal what your discernment has already sensed. Heaven is not trying to scare you. Heaven is protecting you. Chosen one. Now that heaven has revealed what water and serpents are trying to show you, we move into one of the most prophetic dream symbols God uses to speak about timing, destiny shifts, and supernatural access doors. Anointed one. When a door appears in your dream, you're not just seeing an object. You're standing in front of a spiritual verdict. Dreams about doors are heaven's way of showing you where you are in your divine timeline. And I want you to hear this with clarity. Not every door in your dream is meant for you to walk through. Some are invitations, some are warnings, some are confirmations, and some are tests. In my own journey, I remember a season where I kept dreaming of doors that were open but dimly lit behind them. At first, I thought it meant opportunity. I assumed it meant promotion, expansion, or blessing. But every time I prayed, I felt no peace. Eventually, God revealed something powerful. Not every open door is divine. Some openings appear right when you're vulnerable, worn out, or impatient. And the enemy knows that if he cannot defeat you through fear, he will try through distraction. So listen closely, chosen one. If you dream of a door that is wide open, heaven is not just celebrating access. Heaven is testing readiness. Sometimes God opens a door for you that your previous self prayed for, but the version of you that stands there now must decide whether you will step into it with maturity, discernment, and obedience. An open door is heaven saying, your next season is ready. Are you? But what about a locked door, anointed one? This is where many people misunderstand spiritual timing. A locked door in a dream is not rejection. It is protection. It is God placing a barrier between you and something you desire, not because it's bad, but because it's not aligned with your development yet. I've lived through this myself. There was a time I fought for a relationship, a job, an opportunity that I thought was God's will, simply because I wanted it so deeply. I begged, prayed, and even fasted, but every dream I had showed a locked door. And when I finally surrendered and let go, God revealed why that door would have derailed the destiny He was building inside me. Chosen one, do not curse the locked doors. They are heaven's way of preserving what is meant for your future, not your frustration. Now, if you dream of a broken door, pay attention. This is not symbolic. This is strategic. A broken door means something has tried to enter your life illegally. It means a spiritual or emotional boundary has been breached. For me, the dreams of cracked door frames and forced entries came during seasons where I was ignoring my intuition about certain people. People who smiled but drained me. People who appeared supportive but were silently siphoning my peace, my clarity, or my confidence. Those dreams came as warnings. So if you've seen a broken door in your dream, heaven is alerting you that something or someone has located your access point, your vulnerability, and is attempting to sabotage what God is preparing to release in your next chapter. Chosen One, dreams about doors are heaven's strategy to sharpen your discernment. Heaven does not reveal doors to make you anxious. Heaven reveals doors to prepare you for movement. Let's go a layer deeper. What happens if you're simply standing in front of a door, unable to move? You're staring at it. You sense something powerful behind it, but you can't walk through it. This doesn't mean the door is wrong. It means you're not ready. Heaven shows you the future before you're prepared to carry it. That dream is heaven saying, you asked for this, but you must grow into the version of yourself who can sustain it. Anointed One, maybe that's where you are right now. You see glimpses, you feel the pull, you sense the shift. But the movement hasn't started externally. That's not delay, that's preparation. Heaven is aligning the right people, the right resources, the right timing, and molding you into the vessel who will steward that blessing with wisdom, not impulse. I learned this the hard way. Many years ago, I felt God calling me higher, deeper, further, but no matter what I tried, nothing opened. Every dream was the same, a closed door, a glowing handle, an invitation I could not touch. I thought I was failing. But later, I understood God was preparing the future version of me, not punishing the present one. Chosen One, ask yourself, do I have the faith to walk through what I begged God to send? Because heaven will never give you a door you are not equipped to walk through. Chosen One. Now we step into one of the most sacred prophetic dream symbols. Heaven uses the appearance of a baby. This is not about physical children. This is about spiritual responsibility, divine deposits, and the holy assignments God places inside those He trusts. When a baby shows up in your dream, heaven is not trying to show you innocence. Heaven is trying to show you purpose. Anointed One. Listen closely whenever God prepares to elevate you, promote you, or release a supernatural transfer into your life. He places the seed of that transition in your spirit first. Before it becomes tangible, it becomes internal. Before it becomes visible, it becomes spiritual. A baby in your dream is heaven saying, I have placed something holy in your care. During a difficult season of my life, I began dreaming repeatedly of holding a baby. At first, I ignored it. I told myself it was just imagery, just symbolism, just noise. But each dream grew heavier. In one dream, the baby was resting in my arms. In another, the baby was crying until I picked it up. And in another, the child had been left unattended as if abandoned. It wasn't until I sat quietly with God that I realized the truth. Those babies were not human. They were visions, assignments, dreams, purposes, projects. They were the callings I had been postponing. Chosen One. When you dream of a baby, you're carrying heaven is saying, what I placed in you is real, it's growing, and it needs your attention. You cannot neglect the gift and expect it to thrive. You cannot delay obedience and expect destiny to unfold on schedule. A baby in your dream is a spiritual blueprint, a tangible reminder that something inside you requires nurturing, protection, and focus. Now, if the baby is crying in your dream, don't dismiss that sound. That cry is the voice of your calling. It's heaven telling you, you've waited long enough. I've experienced that cry in my own life. Times where I felt the nudge to start something new, but kept delaying because I was afraid, uncertain, or exhausted. But when the calling began to cry, through restlessness, through ideas that wouldn't leave me alone, through dreams that kept returning, I realized heaven was no longer whispering. Heaven was urging. Anointed One. If the baby in your dream cries, your destiny is asking to be fed. Your assignment is asking to be acknowledged. What God placed in you is not passive, it is alive. It is growing even when you are not paying attention. But there is another variation, and it is the most urgent of all the dream, where the baby is abandoned. If you see this chosen one, heaven is warning you that you are drifting away from something eternal. It means there is a calling, you've neglected a purpose. You've postponed a vision you've nearly walked away from because of fear, disappointment, or exhaustion. This dream is heaven saying, "Come back. What I gave you is too precious to lose." I want to share something personal with you. There was a season where I almost walked away from my calling. I felt empty, tired, misunderstood. Every idea felt too heavy. Every step felt too costly. I convinced myself that lowering my expectations was maturity. But then I had a dream, an abandoned baby lying on a quiet road. The moment I picked that child up, I woke up crying. And right there, I understood I had nearly abandoned the very thing God created me to birth. Chosen one. The baby in your dream is not about motherhood or fatherhood. It is about legacy, the spiritual legacy you were designed to carry forward. Maybe no one sees what's inside you yet. Maybe no one understands why you're restless. Maybe you don't even have the vocabulary to explain it. But your spirit knows. You can feel the pressure, the stirring, the internal stretching. That is heaven expanding you for the next level. And here's a truth you must hold tightly. The enemy does not fear who you are right now. He fears who you are becoming. He fears what you're carrying. He fears the impact you will make when this spiritual baby matures. That is why the warfare intensified. That is why your sleep changed. That is why you feel spiritually pregnant with something you can't quite name. A baby in your dream is heaven confirming that what's inside you is not optional. It is ordained. So, anointed one, the next time a baby appears in your dream, don't ask, "What does this mean?" Ask instead, "God, how do I nurture what you have birthed in me?" Because this is not just revelation. This is activation. You are being prepared to steward something holy, something that will outlive you, outshine your past, and outlast every attack that tried to destroy you. Chosen one. Now we enter one of the most mysterious, emotionally charged, and spiritually delicate realms of dream revelation, dreams involving someone who has passed away. These dreams hit differently. They linger. They echo, they wake you at hours you cannot explain, and they leave you feeling something you can't put into words, a mix of weight, wonder, and warning. Anointed one. When a departed person appears in your dream, heaven is not just replaying memory. Something deeper is taking place. These dreams pull you into a space where the veil between the natural and spiritual grows thin. You are being shown something your waking logic is too noisy to receive. I want you to listen with a steady heart because this realm requires discernment. There was a season in my life where I would dream of a loved one who had passed years earlier. Each time they didn't speak. They just stood there, looking at me with an expression I could not decode. One morning, after waking with tears I couldn't explain, I realized it wasn't grief, it was revelation. Heaven was using their image because my heart still trusted their presence. God speaks through familiarity when He wants to bypass your defenses. Chosen one. If someone you loved appears in your dream simply standing near you, watching you, or silently acknowledging you, heaven may be bringing closure to a wound you still carry. Many of us move through life pretending we're healed, but our spirits know otherwise. Sometimes God sends a dream not to open a wound, but to close the one you didn't know was still bleeding. But if the person speaks even briefly, even a single sentence, you must listen with spiritual ears. These moments are rare. And no, this is not them returning. It is heaven using a familiar image to deliver a message your mind would reject from any other source. A word of comfort, a word of instruction, a word of warning. Chosen one. Sometimes the message is simple, let go. Sometimes the message is move forward. Sometimes it is stop blaming yourself. God knows what your soul still whispers at midnight. But you must also understand this truth: not every presence in your dream is divine. The enemy is a master of imitation. He knows the faces your heart trusts. He knows the memories that hold weight. And he knows that if he can use familiarity, he can influence emotion. I learned this firsthand. One night I had a dream where a relative who had passed appeared with a heavy expression and said something that filled me with fear. When I woke, I knew instantly that dream was not from God. The residue was wrong, the emotion was wrong, the atmosphere felt polluted. Fear never travels with heaven. Fear always travels with deception. Anointed one. This is why discernment is your shield. You do not evaluate the dream by what was said, you evaluate it by what remained after you woke. Peace, conviction, clarity. These are signs heaven spoke. Confusion, obsession, fear, emotional disturbance. These are signs something counterfeit slipped into the dream. Heaven will never reveal something that pulls you away from God. Hell will always reveal something that pulls you away from peace. Chosen one, when a departed person appears, ask 3 questions. What did I feel when I woke up? Your spirit never lies. Did the dream bring direction or disturbance? Heaven directs. Darkness disturbs. What remained in my atmosphere afterward? Clarity or confusion? Clarity belongs to God. Confusion never does. And hear me, you are not crazy. You are not imagining things. You are spiritually sensitive, spiritually awakened, spiritually marked. You see what others overlook. You feel what others ignore. And that sensitivity is not a burden, it is a gift. Sometimes these dreams are ancestral awakenings, moments where heaven reminds you that the generational battles that defeated others have reached their final warrior you. And heaven is showing you through the familiar face that you carry something they could not finish. But sometimes these dreams are warnings, reminders that familiar spirits attempt to mimic what God has not sent. This is why your spirit must stay anchored, not your emotions. Chosen one. You are not just a dreamer, you are a gatekeeper. Not every spirit deserves access to your night. Not every presence deserves your attention. You must guard the gate of your dreams the same way you guard the gate of your heart. Chosen one. The dream of falling is one of the most misunderstood spiritual experiences, yet one of the most prophetic. When you fall in a dream, you're not simply witnessing fear or chaos. You are encountering a divine interruption. Heaven steps into your subconscious to show you where your life, your identity, or your choices have begun to rest on unstable ground. It is not punishment, it is preparation. The fall is God's way of revealing the truth that your spirit has sensed, but your mind has been too overwhelmed to acknowledge. When I experienced seasons filled with falling dreams, I didn't understand the purpose at first. I woke, breathless, shaken heart racing, as if I had been pulled out of another realm. I thought it was stress, anxiety, or exhaustion. But over time, God revealed that these dreams were a rescue, not a warning. I wasn't falling because I was failing. I was falling because God was pulling me away from places that were silently draining me. Sometimes the fall symbolizes a relationship you've outgrown, a role that no longer fits who you are becoming, or a season that has reached its divine expiration. You may believe you're losing control, but in truth, God is loosening your grip on what was never meant to carry you forward. What is most striking about falling dreams is that you almost never hit the ground. You always wake up right before the moment of impact. That moment is prophetic. Heaven allows the fall, but prevents the crash. This is the covenant of a God who disrupts your false stability, but preserves your true destiny. When you wake before hitting the ground, it is heaven whispering, "I shook you, but I didn't abandon you. I disrupted the fiction so I could reveal the truth." The fall exposes the illusions you've built your identity on: success, approval, validation, control. By stripping these away in the dream realm, God spares you from painful disillusionment in the physical realm. The fall is the separation, not the destruction. It is the clearing, not the collapse. God allows you to sense instability, so you stop clinging to what was never meant to be permanent. And when you awaken in the middle of the night with your heart pounding, it isn't fear. It's recalibration. Your spirit is realigning. The divine reset has begun. That moment, the breathlessness, the shock, the lingering sense of vulnerability, is the Holy Spirit grounding you again on the foundation that cannot be shaken. Yet something else emerges after falling dreams, and it is often more unsettling than the fall itself: the sense of being watched. Many chosen ones report a presence in the dream, something unseen but undeniable, observing them from beyond the edges of vision. This is not paranoia. This is spiritual visibility. The dream realm reveals what the physical realm conceals. As you rise spiritually, as you awaken, as your anointing intensifies, you become visible to both realms, the realm of angels and the realm of adversaries. The presence you sense is not there to harm you, it is there to acknowledge you. Falling dreams strip away false foundations, and the watching presence affirms your spiritual emergence. Chosen one, you feel watched because you have been recognized by angels assigned to guard you, recognized by darkness threatened by you, recognized by heaven as one stepping into greater authority. When this happens, you are no longer hidden in the spirit. You are marked, seen, acknowledged, and identified as one carrying divine weight. Your dream life is revealing that your spirit is awakening. You are walking into a season where heaven will not allow you to build on what is weak or settle for what is small. The fall is not the end. It is the beginning of the rise. The watching presence is not danger. It is confirmation that you have stepped into realms where your destiny is seen, respected, and opposed. The fall is the breaking. The awakening is the recognition. And both are signs that you are being prepared for the next level of your calling. Chosen one, once the fall reveals the instability in your foundation, the next dream realm emerges with even greater intensity, the dream where you are being watched. This is one of the most profound signs that your spiritual identity has awakened. When you sense eyes on you in a dream, when you feel a presence you cannot name, when the atmosphere grows heavy with unseen awareness, you are not experiencing fear. You are experiencing recognition. In the spirit, you have become visible. For years, I believed that these dreams were the result of stress or overthinking. I dismissed them as imagination. But over time, as my sensitivity to the spirit deepened, I realized something transformative. The watching presence was not a threat. It was an announcement. Just as light reveals itself in darkness, your rising anointing becomes impossible to ignore in the unseen realms. Heaven takes notice. Hell takes notice. The atmosphere around you becomes aware of who you are, not who you pretend to be, not who people said you were, but who God ordained you to be before you were even formed. Chosen one. Understand this truth with clarity. When you feel watched in your dreams, it is because your spirit has stepped into a level of authority that can no longer be hidden. Your prayers have gained weight. Your discernment has sharpened. Your obedience has shifted atmospheres. Heaven sees you as a soldier awakened. Hell sees you as a threat exposed. The watching presence is often unsettling because you were never trained to interpret spiritual visibility. Your mind feels invaded, yet your spirit feels acknowledged. And in that tension, a powerful truth emerges. You are no longer invisible to the invisible. Angels observe your growth with honor. Demons observe your progress with fear. And the realm of the spirit tracks your every movement because your next decision carries generational implications. I remember the first time this realization hit me. Dream after dream, I sensed something watching me, something measuring, something studying. At first, fear gripped me, but then clarity came. This was not surveillance. This was assignment. A warrior cannot step onto the battlefield unnoticed. A torch cannot be hidden in darkness. A rising one cannot walk unseen. The presence watching me was responding to the light awakening in me, a light I had overlooked, underestimated, or suppressed for too long. Chosen one, the same is happening to you. The reason you sense eyes on you in dreams is because you have crossed a spiritual threshold. You carry a fire that darkness cannot ignore. You carry a mantle that heaven refuses to let remain dormant. You carry authority that demands attention. You are stepping into alignment with your divine blueprint, and the dream realm is reflecting this transformation with precision. But here is the deeper revelation. The presence that watches you is not always darkness. Sometimes it is heaven inspecting the weight of your readiness. Sometimes it is an angel standing guard. Sometimes it is the Spirit of God drawing near to measure your surrender. The heaviness you feel is not oppression, it is glory. The awareness that wraps around you is not danger, it is divine affirmation. When heaven watches you, it is because you have become trustworthy. When darkness watches you, it is because you have become dangerous. This is why the watching presence never speaks. It doesn't need to. Its silence is a message. Its gaze is a revelation. Its nearness is confirmation. You are becoming spiritually significant. You are stepping into the stage of your calling where the unseen world adjusts itself around you. Authority always announces itself before it manifests. Yet there is one truth that must be understood. Visibility brings responsibility. You cannot return to the person you were. You cannot shrink to fit into old rooms. You cannot hide your gift to make others comfortable. You're seen because you were never meant to remain small. The dream of being watched marks a turning point where your internal transformation becomes externally recognized in the spirit realm. In that gaze, heaven confirms, your time to rise has come. And in that same gaze, darkness whispers in fear they can no longer be stopped. Chosen one, you are being called into spiritual maturity, into divine awareness, into awakened identity. The watching presence is not there to intimidate you. It is there to remind you that your mantle has been activated. You are not ordinary. You are not hidden. You are not overlooked. You have been revealed. Chosen one. There comes a moment in every spiritual journey when the scattered pieces of your dream life begin to align, forming not fragments but a pattern. This is the moment when you realize that heaven was never simply sending you signs. Heaven was training you. Everything you have seen in the night, everything that stirred your spirit or unsettled your sleep, has been part of a divine framework designed specifically for your awakening. Your dreams have not been interruptions, but instructions. And now, as you step into deeper spiritual maturity, you begin to understand that none of it was random. In this awakened state, something remarkable happens within you. You stop treating your dreams as isolated events and begin seeing them as chapters in a larger spiritual curriculum. The water that once symbolized emotional turbulence now reveals your capacity for cleansing and alignment. The serpent that startled you now exposes the hidden intentions of those around you. The door that once confused you now becomes the language of divine timing. The baby that appeared fragile now becomes the revelation of your spiritual assignment. The departed figure who visited you now brings closure or clarity. The fall that terrified you now points to a necessary surrender, and the presence that watched you now confirms that your spirit has become visible in realms you once knew nothing about. Suddenly, the dream world becomes familiar territory, not because it has become less mysterious, but because you have become more discerning. You recognize that heaven does not waste imagery, and that the Spirit of God does not paint symbolic landscapes for entertainment. Every element has purpose. Every movement has meaning. Every dream carries weight. You are no longer a passive dreamer. You are an active interpreter, someone who understands that what you see when your eyes are closed often holds more truth than what you see when you are awake. As you reach this stage, the most powerful revelation emerges. Your dreams were never merely warnings or comfort. They were maps, blueprints encoded with direction, identity, and spiritual responsibility. Heaven was teaching you to navigate realms that your natural understanding could not enter. The dream world became your classroom because the assignments ahead of you require spiritual eyes, not earthly instincts. And in this realization, something shifts deep within. Humility meets authority. You begin to understand that you're not chosen because you are perfect. You are chosen because you are willing. You are not awakened because you are elite. You are awakened because you are needed. The kingdom of God does not elevate the flawless. It elevates the available. When your dreams began to intensify, it was not a sign of instability. It was a sign of readiness. Heaven was expanding your vision so that your spirit could carry what your future demands. My chosen one. When you reach this depth of understanding, the spiritual transfer begins. This is the phase where your dreams no longer serve solely to reveal danger or expose wounds. They begin to activate gifts, clarify your calling, and prepare you for supernatural elevation. You feel a new atmosphere around you, heavy yet holy. You sense a divine responsibility resting on your life. You feel the weight of decisions, the significance of timing, the urgency of obedience. You recognize that what once felt like an internal war is now an internal awakening. In this awakened state, God does not merely send reassurance, He sends assignments. He does not merely patch wounds, He restores identity. He does not simply reveal the next step. He cultivates the version of you capable of carrying it. The chosen one you are becoming is not shaped by comfort, but by clarity. Your dreams have given you spiritual memory, a remembrance of who you were designed to be before life buried you under doubt, fear, or distraction. Now that your eyes are open, heaven begins entrusting you with more discernment, more insight, more responsibility, more authority. You begin noticing this shift in subtle but unmistakable ways. Conversations feel different. Environments feel louder spiritually. Distractions reveal themselves instantly. People's intentions are clearer even when their words are kind. What once fooled you now feels transparent. What once tempted you now feels empty. You are being refined into someone whose spirit cannot be manipulated, whose destiny cannot be derailed, and whose calling cannot be ignored. This is the threshold of supernatural transfer, where heaven begins placing into your hands what had always been written in your scroll. Not all at once, but piece by piece, dream by dream, revelation by revelation, as your character, obedience and understanding align with the weight of your calling. You are stepping into a realm where spiritual maturity becomes spiritual authority, and spiritual authority becomes spiritual impact. And though you may not fully realize it yet, your awakening is not only changing your life, it is shifting the spiritual atmosphere around you. You are becoming a person whose very presence disrupts darkness, whose dreams dismantle deception, and whose awakening triggers the awakening of others. Your dream life is not a mystery, it is your map. And now, chosen one, you finally know how to read it. Chosen one, when heaven finally teaches you how to read your dreams, something extraordinary begins to unfold within you. The scattered pieces of your night visions start to form a pattern, revealing themselves not as random scenes, but as divine instruction. This is the point where dreaming becomes awakening. You no longer drift through your nights unaware. Instead, you step into the understanding that your dreams were shaping you long before you knew how to interpret them. As this realization settles into your spirit, something deep and ancient begins to stir. You feel a weight you cannot explain, a holy gravity pulling you toward purpose. Ordinary moments take on sacred tones. Silence feels louder than sound. And even your breath feels like it has rhythm and assignment. You start to sense that heaven is no longer speaking from afar, but walking beside you in every step, every decision, every shift. This is where everything converges. Water, serpents' doors, babies, ancestors' falls, and unseen presences, all of them begin to weave into one revelation. The dreams were never meant to entertain you. They were meant to prepare you. What once felt symbolic now feels instructional. What once seemed confusing now feels intentional. Heaven was training you through coded imagery because your destiny required understanding that your conscious mind was not ready to receive until now. In this stage of awakening, you stop treating dreams as isolated messages. You begin to recognize them as segments of a divine curriculum. Each symbol was a lesson. Each presence was a teacher. Each pattern was a spiritual initiation. And now that you've reached this point, something powerful unlocks inside you spiritual memory. It is the knowing that you were made for more, long before you had language for it. With this memory comes a shift in how you see your life. You start to understand that nothing was wasted, not the battles, not the delays, not the heartbreaks, not the confusion. Every trial became part of your prophetic preparation. Every disappointment carved space for wisdom. Every spiritual attack clarified your authority. Your dreams didn't just interpret your life, they crafted your resilience. Now heaven begins the next movement, the supernatural transfer. But this transfer is not only material, it is spiritual first. Heaven places identity into your hands. Heaven deposits vision into your spirit. Heaven gives you responsibility, not to burden you, but to align you. You begin to feel the mantle of your calling settling over you like a garment you were always meant to wear. This is where your life starts moving differently. You walk with a cautious boldness, aware that your steps carry spiritual weight. You speak with a quiet authority, knowing that your words now echo beyond the physical. You think with a deeper discernment, understanding that decisions are no longer casual but consequential. You become a vessel of revelation, carrying insight that flows from realms beyond your own understanding, and as this happens, everything around you begins to adjust. People respond to you differently. Some feel drawn to you without knowing why. Others distance themselves because your presence exposes what they tried to hide. Doors open in ways that defy logic. Opportunities return that once slipped away. Divine timing becomes visible. Alignment becomes effortless. You are no longer moving at human rhythm. You are moving at heaven's rhythm. This acceleration is not because you became stronger. It is because you became surrendered. When you surrendered, you received sight. When you received sight, you gained strategy. When you gained strategy, you stepped into authority, and authority always produces movement. Chosen one. This realm changes everything. Old patterns break with ease. Long-standing cycles collapse under the weight of revelation. Generational limitations dissolve. Emotional heaviness lifts. You begin to rise into a version of yourself that your younger self would never believe possible. You start to see how the darkness that once suffocated you has become the soil that nourished your roots. Your dreams taught you to see. Your battles taught you to endure. Your awakening taught you to walk. And now heaven is teaching you to lead. This final stage is not just about interpretation, it is about embodiment. You are no longer the one searching for signs. You are the one heaven trusts with them. You are no longer someone waiting for instruction. You have become someone who carries instruction. You are no longer someone who wakes confused. You wake aware. Chosen one. This is not the end of your dream journey. It is the unveiling of why it began. Every night, vision prepared you for this moment. Every symbol shaped you. Every spiritual presence refined you. And now, awake and aware, you step into the truth that heaven has been whispering all along. You are ready. Chosen one. This final movement of your journey is not an ending. It is an awakening. Everything you have walked through, everything you have seen in your dreams, everything heaven has whispered while the world slept, it has all been preparing you for this moment. The conclusion of your dream sequence is not meant to close something. It is meant to open you. It is meant to lift you into recognition of who you truly are and what you were always destined to carry. As you stand in this spiritual light, a realization rises inside you with quiet power. What you used to call dreams were never dreams at all. They were blueprints. They were encrypted messages woven into the language of the night, designed to bypass your logic and speak directly to your spirit. They were divine codes written in symbols only heaven can teach and only the awakened can understand. Others may sleep through their purpose, but you, chosen one, you were selected to receive instruction in the darkness so you could walk with clarity in the light. And now, as the final layer unfolds, heaven reveals the truth that your spirit always sensed your dreams were part of your spiritual training. While others lived unawakened, you were being prepared. While others saw only nightmares, you saw messages. While others forgot what they dreamed, your spirit remembered. Heaven has been cultivating sensitivity within you, sharpening your discernment, teaching you how to navigate realms that many never acknowledge exist. The awakening you stand in now comes from this understanding that God has been speaking to you in ways your conscious mind was not ready to handle, but your spirit was ready. Your spirit has always been ready. That is why the dreams kept coming. That is why you felt things you couldn't explain. That is why the atmosphere around you always felt different. You were being shaped into someone who could carry revelation, not merely receive it. Someone who could walk in divine timing, not simply hope for it. Someone who could withstand spiritual weight, not collapse beneath it. This is where the supernatural transfer begins to materialize, not as something external at first, but as something internal, a shift in your identity, your awareness, your authority. You begin to feel a divine confidence rising in you, not the loud kind that demands attention, but the quiet kind that knows its origin. You feel your spirit settle into alignment, as if heaven has been waiting for this exact moment to breathe into you the fullness of your calling. Chosen one. What is happening inside you now is not emotional, it is spiritual. You are remembering your spiritual name. You are reconnecting to your divine blueprint. You are awakening to the truth that the dream realm was not a puzzle, but a preparation. You are realizing that God never stopped speaking. He simply waited for the day when your spirit would be strong enough to respond. This awakening brings with it a weight, not the weight of burden, but the weight of responsibility. For those who see are responsible for guiding those who still stumble through darkness. Those who awaken are responsible for carrying light into places where confusion once reigned. Your dreams were not given for entertainment. They were given to prepare you for leadership influence and spiritual impact. In this final chapter, something else becomes clear. Heaven has been building endurance within you. Every spiritual battle you faced, every strange dream, every moment of unease, every internal shaking, all of it strengthened you. All of it refined you. All of it shaped the spiritual authority you carry now. You have been trained in silence, tested in darkness, and formed in places no one else saw. And all of heaven took note. As you stand on the edge of this revelation, the final truth emerges. You can no longer sleep the way you used to. Not physically, not spiritually, not emotionally. The person you were before, the one who dismissed dreams, overlooked signs, and ignored spiritual intuition, that version of you no longer exists. You have crossed a threshold. You have awakened into your purpose. From this moment forward, you become a guardian of your own destiny. You become someone who pays attention, someone who listens deeper, someone who moves with intention. Heaven has entrusted you with too much clarity to return to blindness. You are no longer the dreamer, you are the interpreter. You are no longer the student, you are becoming the vessel. You are no longer the one being awakened, you are the one who awakens others. Chosen one. This final revelation is not a conclusion. It is an invitation into deeper realms, into higher purpose, into the fulfillment of every divine pattern heaven has etched into your nights. You will dream differently now. You will walk differently now. You will carry differently now. Because now you know your dreams are not dreams. They are destiny speaking to you in its native language. And now that you understand the language, your destiny will never be silent again. Chosen one, as we come to this sacred close, breathe deeply and let your spirit remain open. What you've heard today is not information, it is impartation. Heaven has been speaking to you long before this video began, and now the message settles into its fullness. You are standing in your Kairos moment. The divine timing over your life has opened like a door no hand can shut. Anointed one, every dream you've been shown, every symbol heaven has placed before you has been preparing you for this very hour. You are not stepping into your future is stepping toward you. The supernatural transfer has already begun. What was hidden is being revealed. What was delayed is accelerating. What was sleeping in you is awakening with power. So tonight, do not return to sleep as someone unaware. Lie down with expectation. Rest like one who carries destiny in their spirit. Watch how heaven speaks in whispers and visions, in symbols and clarity. You are no longer wandering, you are being guided. Chosen one. I speak blessing over your mind, peace over your atmosphere, and clarity over your dreams. May the codes continue to come. May revelation flow without resistance. May your nights become holy classrooms where God unfolds your next instruction. And if this word has confirmed what your spirit already knew, leave a declaration in the comments, a simple "Speak, Lord, not for me, but as your agreement with heaven." Share this message with another chosen one. Stay aligned and keep your spirit awake. Your next season has already begun.